Chapter 4, Trials in the Toy Box. Much like at the beginning of every chapter, we start our journey as Princess Peach and the little star known as Twink, which unfortunately has a pretty bad name, but that's with hindsight, because at the time Twinkle just meant Twinkle Little Star, not something else. Like always, Peach decides to snoop around her own castle to see what Bowser's doing, but she doesn't get very far because it turns out Bowser's outside the secret passageway, complaining the fact that Tubbalova failed miserably at defeating Mario, despite the fact he was supposed to be invincible, because Mario found his weakness, obviously. Figure that out in the last video. So Bowser asks Peach, like, hey, give me insight of Mario. What's he afraid of? And you can just tell him whatever you want. He's like, what does Mario hate the most? And you can just say, yeah, a mushroom, totally. Like, is Bowser a fucking idiot? Basically, later during this next chapter, you'll go to chest rooms and you'll find these items, or an enemy if you choose one of the enemies. But yeah, there's no reason for you not to, because you just choose the item, and Bowser will literally let you do it. He's not gonna stop you at all. It's actually really funny. I love it. But unfortunately, that was the end of the Princess Peach segment. It was pretty short this time, but at least we got a good laugh. Like every other chapter, you start where you already began, so you're gonna have to get out yourself of the Spooky's forest. But this time, we find an unwanted guest. Make sure you heal beforehand, because Junior Koopa is back at us again. He's scared of the forest, but then he sees Mario and is like, ha, I'm gonna fight you. He's got a special new ability under his hand, and that is to grow wings, because he can fly now. Really, the main thing that's changed with him is he has a bit more HP, and he can fly now, and of course, flying means you can only jump on him. Other than that, his attacks are about the same. He's a little tougher than before, but nothing really difficult. Just don't forget to heal beforehand, because you might not expect this boss fight, and that's one thing that can really get you off guard here, really. But this gives us a good opportunity to use our new Star Spirit ability. Yes, each Star Spirit you get gives you a new ability, and this purple guy, gives us Star Storm, which is a really great move that hits 7 damage on every enemy on the battlefield no matter what, so it's very useful, and plus it uses very little star points. So that's pretty cool. Not star points, star power, you know what I mean, whatever. When walking back to Toad Town, we see a commotion going on. There seems to be Shy Guys everywhere now, causing some havoc here. They even stole Tasty's frying pan. No, we can't have home-cooked meals anymore. Yeah, this is how the game would introduce you to the Tasty character if you haven't been here already. Because of these Shy Guys, a lot of the things you could do before, like this bad shop, you can't get to because they're stealing all their crap. Not even the Toad House is safe. You can't even rest here because there's a Shy Guy in the bed. These guys are stealing everything, including mail. These guys are mail thieves, and I don't appreciate that. It's pretty funny, because even when you go to the item shop, you'll see that the Shy Guy pretends to be the shopkeeper instead of the regular Toad that's there. It's pretty funny. But before we deal with that, now that we have a new ability that we got earlier, we can go back to Mario's house and go underneath this secret area where we can find Luigi's diary, because of course Mario's an asshole and reads his own brother's diary. And apparently in his diary, the Mario Golf, Tennis, and Party games are canon and they exist in the past, which is kind of weird, but whatever. And pretty interestingly, Luigi mentions how he's scared of ghosts a year before Luigi's Mansion even came out. Pretty neat. Anyway, when talking to all the Toad citizens, you might find a weird house. Over here in this little area here, you'll find this house is completely empty. And when you stay in here for a little while, it turns out this is the Shy Guys' hideout, but they're hiding a little bit something. But in order to figure this out, we need to use Bow's invisibility in order to see what the Shy Guy does when we aren't there. And what's this? It has a musical entrance. What a sneaky little bitch. And we find the secret entrance right into a toy box. Yes, now Mario is shrunken down inside this box, which is a toy box, if you couldn't guess, even though it looks like a present, but it's a toy box. Don't question it. You'll find a train station, but the train won't be going anywhere, so we'll just have to figure out what we have to do until we get the train up and running. In the toy box, there's lots of enemies, including, well, Shy Guys, including this guy. He's a yellow Shy Guy, but just a regular Shy Guy, apparently. They're a little weird. They do like acrobatic attacks occasionally, they'll just do regular attacks. They're kind of weird. Well, they don't have a lot going for them. Their attack timing is off, and sometimes they can do stronger attacks, like their acrobatic attacks, which are harder to predict. So keep in mind, this whole area is bizarre. We're in a toy box, so what you expect. That's not the only guy running around like these Groove Guys who look like jesters. These Groove Guys are like Shy Guys, except they will call reinforcements like all the time, so fuck them. Throughout the toy box, you'll find Shy Guys who have stuff that they've stolen from Toad Town, so you gotta stop these guys and return those ingredients or whatever it is they've stolen to the rightful Toad. Now when we go to the right side of the toy box, we'll find Kammy Koopa's living Mario, a thing that will scare him very much, that being a mushroom. And she's like, well, that doesn't look right, but that's what Peach said, so whatever. Yeah, that does come back at you. In this area, you'll find all these star boxes, which jump onto Jack-in-the-Box, which launches Mario high up in the air or even sideways. So yeah, that's pretty fun. And there's even a new Shy Guy type over here. What are these guys called? Why, they are the Sky Guy. Of course, they are actually really not that difficult. They're just ones just floating around and they'll shoot stuff at you with their slingshot. They aren't that great, honestly. They suck, but it's good for me because it means I get to kill them pretty easly. The toolbox is a fun area, not only because it's very colorful, but there's also a lot of weird puzzles and stuff going on. Like these buildings you gotta parkour your way through by finding out the puzzle piece. It's pretty simple, but it's fun. And of course, what was hiding in the treasure chest that was being guarded by a mushroom, why it was a storm key, which of course we will need. So yeah, we actually have to exit the toy box in order to deliver these toad items, since we actually do need to do that pretty much right away. If you give the calculator back to these brown Koopas here, they give you the I Spy badge. Pretty neat. Also, apparently here, if you ground pound in this tent with Marlo here multiple times, it will give you a very useful badge as the Quick Change badge. It allows you to quickly change your partner in battle without losing a turn. So make sure to go grab this. It's very hidden. Anyway, one of the main things we gotta do is go back to the shop here and use the Storm Key to unlock this area. The shopkeeper lets us take anything we want from here, and of course, we do need one of these items. That being the toy train, which we'll need for the toy box. Before we can go in the toy box, we need to drop the toy train in it from the outside so it can land right in the perfect size, because if we drop it in while we're normal size, well, toy size, it wouldn't really work, would it? Now we can go to the right, but we can't go to the left because that road is blocked off. But yeah, we're back in business. Let's go on for a train ride. Well, a toy train ride. We've already been on a train ride in the second chapter. Go watch that video. Now that we're in this second area here, we find another type of Shy Guy. This is a Spy Guy, and it's a Shy Guy that's supposed to be a stealthy, but he's not really because he stands out like a sore thumb, and he just charges attacks mostly, and that's about it. But they're pretty easy to take out due to the fact they don't have that much HP there, and most of their charge attacks don't happen very often. The other Shy Guy you see here is the Medi Guy. Medi Guy is a Shy Guy that has a Koopa Clown car, looks like, but they could heal their wounded companions, which is annoying, but they're really not that good at doing so, so they're not that great. While traveling for the left here, you'll come across a very unique Shy Guy. Oh my goodness, that's a really big Shy Guy. He's the Gourmet Guy, and he loves food, if you couldn't tell. What you're going to need to do is you're going to need to give him a Tasty creation, and he'll love it. So you might need to get the frying pan back to Tasty before you give him anything. We can find the frying pan by traveling to the right side of this new area, which of course we'll find another chest that has a hidden enemy in front of us. Well, not really, because we chose not to have an enemy, we chose the Thunder Rage. And instead we find the frying pan, which we need to return to Tasty right away. The chapter is fun. It does feature a little bit too much backtracking than this game usually has, and the train animation gets a little tiring after a while. And Tasty will be so happy that she'll bake us a cake. A nice, delicious cake. Anyway, we go back to see the Gourmet Guy who looks like he's ready to eat, and we give him the cake. As soon as he eats it, he has a Ratatouille moment as the camera zooms in on his pixelated face. He has a foodie moment as he screams about how delicious the cake is, and goes really fast. Like, holy shit, who knew the guy that fat could run? And he jumps out of orbit too, but he leaves a looks like a menu behind. Interesting. A cookbook. That's nice. But now we actually can go behind him, which is pretty useful since there's stuff here that we couldn't get to beforehand because, well, he was blocking the turret road. And on the other side of the road, we actually find a new enemy type, or a new Shy Guy type, I should say, known as, well, a Pyro Guy. It would be called a Fry Guy, but actually there's another Mario enemy called Fry Guy, so that's why it's called Pyro Guy. He has stronger attacks. He's a little bit more annoying because, you know, you can't really hit him with your jump attacks or he'll burn you to death, but other than that, it's not too difficult. Anyway, the reason we need to go back here is in order to flip the switch, not the Nintendo Switch, this pink switch, which will make the train have more areas to travel through. Now they're in the green station. Yes, each station has a different color, like the blue, pink, and green station, and the red one I don't believe we've got to yet. In this area, you'll find a lot of treadmills that Mario has to traverse across in order to get coins, progress, as well as avoid enemies. And this great area, which you actually have to use bow here, which is something we actually haven't done before. I mean, we've used bow, but not like in a way we're going through objects like that, so that's pretty neat. There's even gambling here, but of course, gambling never goes right, as this one just shot out a bunch of Shy Guys, so be careful. Be careful not to gamble. Though Shy Guy's Toy Box is always full of surprises, with a moving platform challenge now, which is pretty unique. Like, there's a little bit of platform in the game, but not a whole lot, so this area is pretty unique. And of course, at the end of this, we find another chest full of an item that we need for one of the toads, being a dictionary. And now we gotta go all the way back to Toad Town to find the toads who need their crap, and there's a lot of things we need to give out. That includes a knapsack to the parrot guy, who's not Parrot Harry at the post office here. This is not a main one, but he gives you a star piece. And we give back a dictionary to this toad named Rusty, which I'm not sure why he's called Rusty. He's supposed to be a smart toad, and we wouldn't be Rusty then. But I guess he's Rusty because he needs a dictionary in order to find out what words are. And once you do this, you get given this mystery note, and he can translate it for you, which will help you to navigate the toy box even better, because it's written in the language of Shy Guys, and Shy Guys apparently have weird accents, which is pretty funny, actually. He'll actually tell you how to solve a puzzle that you find in the green area about what boxes to hit in order to do it, and you need to give it to this toad before you even do it, because even if you do it right, it won't work. You need this toad's advice first, alright? Alright, now we go back to the green station, and we hit all these boxes in the correct order that we learned from Rusty over there. In doing so, we'll unlock the train tracks to become rainbow. Well, actually, it just unlocks the next section, which is the red station. So here we go. Traveling in the red station, we find moving up and down platforms, and it looks like Ferris wheels, which is pretty neat. This area is pretty much what we've seen before until we find this one room. You find a dark room that's lit up by this weird ghost guy with a lantern, who speaks very strangely. He speaks strangely because his text is always moving. This is a big lantern ghost who hates the light and loves the dark. So we gotta actually hit his lantern as well as him, but we need to hit his lantern in order to do more damage. It's a very strange fight, and this guy is a little challenging, at least in my opinion. I like to use my companion Bo, who smacks the crap out of his light, which he gets scared of, and it gives Mario a great opportunity to hit him in his face with the power jump. But yeah, the timing of this is pretty annoying, since he can damage your partner, which is very annoying, and he will tear off his light when you get to hit it, they'll turn it off again. The way it works is pretty annoying, and just getting the timing down right is the most difficult thing, since you really got to figure out what's the best way. Certain attacks hit the lantern more, and the more hit it has, the more likely it'll turn it off. But actually, it's like, you know, it's a circle that never ends. Anyway, once you defeat him, we discover that there's actually his lantern's talking, so we see if we can do anything about it. So after jumping and breaking it, we find there's a little light bulb thing, whatever that is, electricity current. Yeah, this is a little baby electricity thing. What is it? According to the Mario Wiki, it's a little Sparky. And a little Sparky is whatever this thing is. I don't know. Anyway, if you couldn't guess, Watt, who's a little baby little Sparky, will join your party, and her ability is that she can illuminate rooms. And this ability is used, well, 3 times in the game. This time, second time during this chapter, and once during the last chapter. So Watt's outside ability is not very useful, plus it just doesn't allow you to do a whole lot of anything. So like I say, that sucked. Yeah, Watt's not my favorite partner because, well, her attacks I'm not the biggest fan of, but she can reveal hidden items, so I guess that's kind of neat. But overall, I'm just not really into her timing of attacks, though she can be pretty useful if you use it her right. I'm just not a big fan of her. She's a little baby, so let's not fight with the baby, alright? But anyway, we need Watt to go to the next section, which we need to blow up a wall, which we find a bunch of Shy Guys are on the other side of, and we crush them a little bit. Pretty funny. Anyway, we need Watt because there's another dark room on the other side. And over here, we'll find that this is the Shy Guys base, and if we don't have the light, well, they're surrounding all of us, and they try to attack Mario. So that's not good, so we need Watts of power to illuminate them and keep them out of the light, the darkness, and illuminate them with the power of the Lightbringer. This will reveal a hole in the wall, which will actually bring us to the boss of this chapter. Yeah, this chapter is pretty short, and we actually get our partner at the very end of it, but, you know, that's okay. This is General Guy. He's a shy guy who's a general, obviously. He lives even though he's a general, he lives for the rule of anarchy in the toy box, and, you know, all the Shy Guys have to live in anarchy, so he doesn't like Mario that's taking away all this stuff. Plus, he's trying to respect the star spirit for Bowser, of course. Anyway, each time you hit the Shy Guy squad, members will leave, and, yeah, the more members they have, the more attacks they do. It's a pretty interesting concept, but it's not too difficult since, you know, every time the round goes on, the weaker and weaker they become, so really nothing difficult there. So we have to fight a whole horde of Shy Guys before we can get to him, and that's a lot of Shy Guys. This is a whole Shy squad. It's not even a Shy Guy horde, it's a Shy squad. Their whole squad is Shy. So once you do that, in the same battle, we see this Shy Guy bring on the General and his giant little machine there, which is one of the few times in the game where we actually have a 3D element in the battle sequence, which is pretty neat. He commands Shy Guys to fall from the sky out of paper which I guess they're all made of paper, but these are actual paper, and then become cut-out paper. Don't explain the paper rolls of this world. These are stilt guys. So his name suggests they're on stilts. I love that. If you use a regular Quake attack, they will go to the ground, but they're basically just shy guys on stilts. I mean, you just can't use a hammer. They suck. I mean, look at them. They're terrible. Once you do that, the general guy gets pissed off because he's shocked that his stilt guys weren't able to beat us, but they're stilt guys. So then he introduces a Shy Guy Tower. Yeah, I'm sure that will be a very, very hard for us to fight. The Shy Stack is what's actually called. Is basically these shy guys on stilts, but just with a bunch of shy guys. So there's slightly better version of that, but not really, because you can easily knock them down, like the shy guy braid, or whatever the hell it was called. I forgot. Even though it was 5 seconds ago. But to do that, General Guy will be mad once again. He's a pretty mad guy. I don't know what to tell you. So he goes hide inside his machine. And that sucks because we need to get him out there so we can beat his ass and save the Star Spirit. So General Guy isn't too difficult, other than the fact that he has defense on his tank, especially when he's hiding in there, meaning that you need to use certain attacks in order to do damage to him. He's mostly will do is charge up a lightning attack to strike Mario and his partner. And he can even choose to hit this light bulb on his tank in order to stop its attacks temporarily. And when I mean temporarily, I mean once you break it, it's gone. Using a partner with a very high attack was what you're really going to need here, as well as using Mario's good attacks, badge attacks, is all you really need to do here. You have, if you prep yourself at this point, it shouldn't be too hard at all, because this boss fight isn't really difficult. Though it is a little tricky. Tricky-dicky, as I like to say it. But not really that tricky-dicky, just normal tricky. An average boss fight. And once you do one final attack, his whole tank falls apart and he gets launched in the air from the explosion, leaving him dead. Well, I think he's dead. Who knows? And once we did that, we free the last... Not the last Star Spirit. We free the last Star Spirit at last, so it's trapped inside the car. Can't even speak. The card. End of chapter! That was a lot less going on in this chapter, and that'll be pretty much what it will be like for the rest of the game. There's not a whole lot to explain yet, but hey, there's still a little interesting things, so stay tuned. We've got 4 more chapters to go, and I'll see you next time with Chapter 5.